This is a question I don't believe that I've seen anyone talk about regarding the name Zach Jr. I know myself and a lot of other fans, we've been focusing more on Fatima's reaction to that name, especially that she wanted that name to be reserved for her and Zach's future kid. But I wanted to talk about the reaction that Karen would have to that name once Zach suggested it for their kid. Now, first of all, there are some people who said, you know what, Karen being Karen, she's very fickle. One minute she might be okay with the idea, but the moment she's pissed off in the slightest, she's like, there's no way in the world I'm naming this baby after you, Zach, after all the pain you've caused me, this, that, and the third. I could see it going either way. And then somebody else even said, look, with Karen being Karen, as mean-spirited as she is, she would probably agree to the name just to spite Fatima. But I wanted to take a different route with the answer. And that's maybe, just maybe, Zach bringing this name to her attention will kind of snap her out of her delusion, because she's been stringing him along for months under the assumption that it's his baby. But she knows in her heart that he's not the father, even going so far as to the first doctor's appointment where she learned about the date of conception. And even then, you could see on her face that it's like, okay, there's no way this baby is Zach's, because if it was, she wouldn't be acting all shocked and surprised whenever the doctor told her, oh, you are X amount of weeks pregnant. Oh, this is the date of conception. Aaron's timeline is correct or incorrect. I don't know. But it just doesn't add up, because if this was Zach's baby, we would never hear the end of it. And we wouldn't be seeing all these, ridiculous attempts to prove to him that he's the father, when if he was, you would have the paperwork to prove it. But probably not, because of his lack of DNA for the test, but whatever. Now, I'm thinking that she'll hear the name Zach Jr. and then think, oh, wow, he really does think he's the father. Or maybe her mom talks to her about it because she feels like things really aren't adding up. And then that leads to her going to the doctor, getting a DNA test. And we know that another guy, not Zach, is going to be getting his blood taken or something for the test. And then as a result, that's how Karen's like, Zach, I went to get a DNA test, and then the results will show he's not the father. So I'm thinking this is about giving Zach a wake-up call. And unfortunately, he's either going to be hurt because this is a child that he thought was his, but it isn't. And then he's dealing with the grief of Michael as well. Or he might actually feel betrayed because Karen knew all along and lied to him about it for months. But maybe Karen, like Andy, will try to play it in a way where she comes out of this, clean, like, oh, actually, I didn't know you weren't the father. My bad. Even though Zach wasn't around when Andy asked if there was another man that Karen had slept with. So, I don't know. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. How do you think Karen's going to react when Zach brings up the name Zach Jr.? I mean, I think back to that letter reading ceremony where it's like, well, I want to be over you, but I'm not. And despite how I feel about you ruining my life, I want this baby to be yours, which again makes no sense at all. So yeah, Karen's a tricky character to try to make sense of. That much I will say. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.